What takes 9 months to finish and isn't a baby? Apparently me doing a DIY project for a Trash to Treasure video. Hello, welcome back. I'm Noreen Eppley and this is the Crafty Organizer, and I started working on this Trash to Treasure artwork piece for you last August. Let me show you what I'm working with. I've talked before about getting these door samples from places like Home Depot, Lowe's, or actually going to a cabinet maker and seeing if they have samples they don't want. I had gotten this lovely stack of samples from one of my viewers. Hello, MK, how are you? I got to go out and meet her and her son. She was delightful, and we have formed a great friendship since then. And I have been carrying these doors around now for, I want to say, 6 or 7 years. I've used a few of them, but I had several, and I wanted to make something for my wall to showcase some vintage cameras I've been collecting. Now, this wasn't an idea that I came up with on my own. The inspiration came from a picture that I saw on Pinterest. My dilemma was how to attach these to the wall and be able to attach the cameras. So let me start off with what I wanted to do with the boards. After laying them out, I wanted to paint them all a unified color, which in my case was white. But that really didn't show off the cameras exactly the way I wanted to, so I went in and started highlighting them with different ways of black. This took a lot longer than I expected because I had to plan where I wanted the black first, then mask them all off and spray paint them black. This turned out okay. There was a pretty good amount of touch-up work though, because I didn't realize that by using washi tape to mask it off, it didn't give me clean paint line. But once they were finally done, I was able to go get them mounted to the wall. Now what I did was just mark the X point of these to find the center. I used 2 heavy-duty drywall anchors in each one and got them mounted to the wall. I spaced it out knowing we were going to be getting a couch delivered, and I wanted them above where the couch rested. So even though it's not centered to the wall, it will be centered to where our couch will be. Once I got all of these up and I was happy with them, I took 8 months off. Yes, 8 months. Why? Because I couldn't figure out how to mount these cameras to the doors. I had a plan. I had these metal L brackets, and my idea was to use the bottom point of the camera where a tripod would be attached, mounting that L bracket, and then attaching the top of the bracket to the doors, except that meant that I would have to attach the bracket first because I needed a screw to go through it to attach to the board, and then mounting the screw or bolt to the camera. The problem was not all the tripod anchors were universal, and the weight on all of them was so different that they would pull, and I was really worried about these falling because we were going to be sitting underneath this area. So I had to sit there and just think and stew and get distracted by other things. And I know you guys do this as well. So let me know in the comments what kind of a project you've stewed on for a long time. But finally this April, I got back to business by abandoning these brackets and going with an old-fashioned system of a French cleat. A French cleat is one piece of wood that has a 45-degree angle, and it sits mounted to the wall, leaving this void of a triangle. The next piece comes in with a cleat of the opposite 45, and it rests into place, allowing it to not pull away. Once I finally got my head wrapped around that and figuring out how to cut these French cleats in small pieces without chopping off my fingers, that was very important to me, but also how to keep it together so it wouldn't go flying away and break. And it was a lot of just mental gymnastics to figure out how I was going to do this. So I had these sheets of pine, and I ultimately decided to just cut the 45-degree angle first. But again, I was really worried about my fingers, so I taped the living daylights out of it, and that allowed me to hold it in place safely to cut that 45-degree. Once that part was done, because this was kind of the scary part for me, I taped it together completely, and this allowed me to cut down the small pieces individually that would exactly fit the width of the camera. Next was finding a way to attach the wood to the cameras. I knew hot glue was not going to work, crazy glue wasn't going to work, monster or gorilla glue wasn't going to work. I ended up watching a ton of YouTube videos that rated the best types of epoxies to use for the strongest hold. Because again, some of these cameras are about a pound, and when they're 4 feet up above you, if it comes falling down, that is going to do some serious damage to either my husband, my puppies, a guest, or myself. So I wanted them to stay strong. I chose JD Weld epoxy because it has been the best rated. So I read the instructions very thoroughly, which is surprising for me because I have a little bit of a patience issue. I mixed it and made sure that I was equal parts, and I even set the timer because it specifically says to make sure you do this whole process in less than 5 minutes. So I ended up doing small bits of epoxy at a time, putting it on the wood, and then placing it on my cameras. Because I only had one shot at this, I did get out measuring tapes and make sure it was at least as level as possible, but I had a trick in mind to make sure that if it did move or I wasn't exact, I would still be able to adjust this. Now, it said it cured in 1 hour, and I am not a patient person, so waiting that full hour for me, I was so proud of myself for following the instructions. I ended up putting the heaviest one up first because I wanted to make sure to test it, and I put it at the bottom corner so it would have the least amount of space to fall if for some reason that epoxy or my wood cleat did fail. I put the bottom cleat in first with 1 screw. This will allow me to adjust it horizontally if for some reason I didn't get it exactly level, and it went up like a champ. Again, so excited. I'm very optimistic at this point that this project is finally going to start working. I get the second cleat put in, hang the next camera. This is the next heaviest one, but it is smaller, so I'm putting it up at the top. And this is when disaster strikes. It fell right off. Look at this, slow motion. Now, upon inspecting this, the cleat is still on the wall and the cleat is still on the camera. So I didn't understand why it failed. Once I really looked at the wood cleat on the camera though, it had just the slightest amount of movement. And in reading the instructions, it says if it is a heavier item to let it cure for 24 hours. But I didn't think they were heavy enough to merit that 24 hours, so I got impatient and decided the hour would be enough, and it wasn't. So I added a little bit more epoxy to all of them, waited the full 24 hours, and the next day got to go back and start attaching all of the cameras. Once they were fully cured, this did go much better. Again, by adding the cleat to each board and allowing myself to adjust it if it needed any type of fine tuning, this project went so well, and I'm really honestly excited about the way this turned out. They do stick out about 3/4 of an inch, but I don't mind that. And that was something that I struggled with when I was looking at the metal brackets, as they stuck out too far. This also allows me to take them off the wall at any point in time if I want to display them on a shelf. And this opens up a whole different opportunity. By adding a cleat to something else, I could display things at Christmas time or during the season if I want to display something else random that we've collected. So this opens up a pretty fun opportunity for me to display collectibles that we have without just attaching it to a wall and ruining it. But this is holding up very well. I finished this almost 2 weeks ago, and knocking on wood, nothing has fallen down, which is fantastic. So I wanted to show you this project, but I also wanted to take a minute and just catch you up on some of the things that I've been doing. I know when I announced the channel changes at the beginning of the year, I had talked about this being a learning process of how my new life was going to integrate with things, so I wanted to show you some of the projects I've been working on. I am still working on my outside shed and this beautiful little headboard. I traced an image and painted it by hand. It turned out okay. This definitely isn't my strength point. And I am still working on that shed, so I will be bringing that to you eventually. In mid-March, I had a bunch of cinder blocks delivered. Unfortunately, the driver didn't listen to me when I said it was really marshy in that spot, and the 100 cinder blocks were too heavy for his forklift, and the forklift got stuck in our natural spring. So he had to be towed out, but I did mark off the area where I want my garden beds, and I started building raised beds with those cinder blocks. I'm super excited for that. The next thing was having dirt delivered. I am going to use this dirt, but first I had to fill my beds with cardboard and old trunks and different wood. If you remember, I had a lot of things pulled out of that area that's going to become my enchanted garden someday. So this was a great way for me to compost some of those woods and things that are back there and allow a lot of bugs to come in and help me compost those items. I also used a lot of the pine needles that were from that back area. And in the very back here, I don't know if you noticed this disassembled shed, I also started building that. This is going to be a great resource for some of my tools that I'm using, like small wheelbarrows or the little mower that I use. It's a great storage space. Now, sadly, at the end of March, we also had a little issue. If you'll notice, our roof is missing. We had a wind gust. It tore our roof off from the west corner just like a piece of paper and just lifted it all the way back. So sadly, that is something that we are still working with for insurance to have them help with that. But that reminded me how our little pergola out there looked. Because I don't have a lot of control over some of the things that are still happening with this house, but preventing future things from getting ruined, water damage on wood are just awful. So by puttying it up and painting it, I'm hoping to prevent any further water damage. And also we're getting those cute little carpenter bees that burrow holes. I had read that painted wood is less appealing to them. So I am hoping that this is not only preventative, but it also made it look so much better. I also got to work with a family member. I had mentioned that before, helping them get their house decluttered. They're doing a lot of renovations in their home, and this type of work is just essential for them to move forward. And it is also just one of the most rewarding things to help someone get control of their space. An old bookcase was a perfect example by adding shelves, turning them upside down, and just staggering the peg height in the back. It allows for the smallest angle so that shoes rest. The lip that was on that shelf being turned over stops the shoes from falling out, allows her to see them all, and look how much storage we got in this. I've always suggested by taking your shoe toes and turning one the opposite direction, you get so much more space for your shoes. And this was a perfect solution for her and the shoes that she had. When I got back, I had been collecting windows for about the last year that we have been here. Our neighbor was getting new windows, and they were gracious enough to gift their old windows to me. The reason I'm collecting these is I have a goal and a dream of having a greenhouse. Now, this is an AI version. This was way more ornate than I wanted, but please stay tuned because I am really hoping that this year I'll get to start building that greenhouse. And first of all, it is definitely just a visual thing that I've always wanted, but living here with the ice and snow that we are getting a little bit more frequently than what we had first heard about, I do want to make sure that I'm able to start my seedlings earlier because right now I can't plant anything until May, and I want to get vegetables into those raised garden beds. Now, I don't know if you remember, we got little Kylo last year. We got him at just 6 weeks old, and he and Yzma were acquaintances. She wasn't entirely happy to have a puppy, but I'm happy to say here we are. He is about to hit his 1-year birthday on May the 4th. They are now best friends, and it's so much fun watching them interact with each other. She will always be the queen of the house, but Kylo is absolutely taking his rightful place beside her as the king. Now, something he does is he carries his bowl around. We call it the parade. Whenever he's done, he has to show you that he has finished his food, and he will carry it around. And we had to make the choice the first time he did this, whether to encourage it or squash it. And we made the choice to encourage it because we think it's so cute. So once he brings us his dish, we give him one more little piece of kibble. He lets the dish go, and then that's it. But the little parade of "I finished my food" is so adorable. But they are always with me when I'm working on projects, and it's nice to have that company. Since I'd gotten the pergola painted, I decided to try something new, which was pressure washing. This is addicting. I loved pressure washing the patio. It was so much fun to see the giant difference it made in the cement. I ended up pressure washing cushions, which I didn't think I could do. I was certain it was going to rip apart the fabric, but it actually worked beautifully. So then I did it on carpets, and now I'm addicted. I want to pressure wash everything. We also have this little area on a porch that's on our driveway that wasn't looking very pretty. So for right now, I just got a little bit of lattice on there. We're just trying to beautify this place because, again, I don't have a lot of control over some of these things, and we don't have the budget to fix everything. So the small things that I can beautify is what I am keeping my blinders on, and it's what's keeping me sane. And I am still loving Lowe's because they do clearance plants so often. I didn't expect that they would have clearance item on plants in early spring, but they did. So I bought a ton of plants, and I got to working on getting my exterior gardens in place. This is along our east fence. I made sure to get down a lot of thick cardboard, and I added dirt and mulch, and I'm really happy with the way that is filling in. It just gives us a nice viewpoint along the fence. This is a little tree that we have over in our side yard, and it ends up being Yzma's favorite place to rest. We call it the dove tree because last year we had doves nesting in it, which was so sweet. But anytime we can't find Yzma, we'll find her somewhere in that garden. I ended up trimming it up and adding a bunch of flowers, and it's coming along nicely. And from this vantage point, you can see our pergola. This was before I painted it, and here it is after, and I really think it looks so much nicer. We also had a tree limb that we lost last year from the cicadas. I decided to cut that branch off and use it as a small planter, so I'm just adding things everywhere I can. This little space on our walkway is coming in very nicely, and my favorite change so far, we got some hydrangeas from Costco. They did not have the color I wanted. I really wanted that beautiful periwinkle purple color, but all they had was the blue. No problem. I planted them, and within about 2 weeks, they started turning purple on their own. And you could see, this is such a short amount of time, but can you see the hostas, how they're coming in? And this was just a few days ago. The hostas are really filling out. And my gosh, you guys, those hydrangeas are gorgeous. I'm so happy with them. We also have the little dove back. She's chosen a different tree this year, so I'm hopeful that we get to see little babies. Fortunately, this is right outside our guest room window, so I'm hoping to update you on that. But our yard really is coming in so nicely, and I just wanted to say, I'm not a life guidance guru. I'm someone who's always found value in organizing to calm my life, and I found that sharing those techniques has really helped many people. I'm also someone who enjoys having friends, and many of you have been my friends since the beginning of my YouTube journey almost 10 years ago. And for that, I really want to share a heartfelt thank you, and I hope that you'll continue this journey with me as I learn to navigate my new life, new ways of finding calm, and new ways of learning skills. So thank you so much for watching. I hope these little tours that I do of my yard bring you just as much joy and tranquility as it brings to me, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.